In this video series, we're going to create Shrek into a 3D model through basically adding background graphics and point manipulation. Now, what we've done is we went in and captured a front view graphic here and a side view graphic, and we set those on a plane and put those in the background. Now, if you'll notice, they're not perfect because basically the artist renderings on each one of them are a little bit different, but they give us a point of reference for us to drag out our 3D object through point manipulation. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to click Snap Toggle On, and then we're going to drag a plane. Now our plane, we're going to go in and we're just going to drag it out here, and basically we want it to be one segment length by one segment width. And then what we're going to do is we need to set this to be see-through. So we're going to right click, go down to Object Properties, and then select See-Through under Display Properties and click OK. Now we're able to see through it. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here, we're going to set this reference point. You see our reference point is now in the middle. We need to set this over to the left hand side of this plane because we're going to turn on symmetry. And what symmetry will do is build out our left hand side while we're working on our right hand side. So I'm going to go over here and then click, I'm going to select this hierarchy and then go to Effect, Pivot Point Only. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this over here to the center and then make sure that that's right there on the center point there. Then I'm going to turn this off. Now when we turn on symmetry, basically this will build the other side of our plane. Now, so I'm going to turn Snap Toggle off, so I'm just going to click on that and do that. Then I'm going to change my plane into I'm going to convert my plane into editable poly. So I'm going to right click, go down to Convert to Editable Poly. And now what I can do is I can go in and turn on symmetry. So with this polygon or this plane selected, I can go down here to my modifier stack and then scroll down to symmetry. It's in alphabetical order. Now when symmetry is turned on, notice how it gives me my other plane on the left hand side. This little hourglass here, this little test tube looking thing here basically allows me to turn that on and off. So if I click on Editable Poly and then click and turn it on and click and turn it off, you can see how it goes on and off. So now I can see how the other half of the Shrek is built. Now notice, even though I do have symmetry, the Shrek's head is not symmetrical, and that's fine. So now we're going to go ahead and start dragging out our points. So I'm going to click on Vertex here, click on this top point, and just drag it up to the top of his head. Then I'm going to drag the side point here over and put this kind of at his temple, kind of this area here. Maybe a little bit higher. We'll scroll out just a little bit. Move this point to the bottom of his chin. And then move this point to his cheek. Now with those set, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my points here and I'm going to move those to the appropriate place in my right hand viewport. So I'm going to click that point there. I'm going to lock it. I'm going to move it over here, and I'm going to move it up a little bit because these are not perfect. So I'm going to kind of move these around to get this where I want it. I'm going to put this at his cheek now, kind of unlock it. Move this over here to the edge of his cheek. And then this top point here, I'm going to move that up here at the top of his forehead. And this one here, I'm going to move around to his temple area here. So now when I rotate this around, in my perspective view, you can see that, I'll zoom in, you can see here my graphics have them pushed back in the background here. But as I scroll in, you can begin to see that my plane, as I rotate around, begins to start looking like somewhat like a mask. So when I turn that off, it kind of has the shape or beginning shapes of a Halloween mask, and that's kind of what we're starting with. And the more detail that we add, the more this is going to build out. In the next video, we're going to start adding our flow zones.